because most of what I wanted to say has already been said. So you can take my speech as a sort of sum of what has been said in this parliament from the morning. Education is said to form the backbone of a nation. Education empowers one to undertake one's life struggle in the right course, including earning one's livelihood, and helps one to develop into a socially conscious human being with a rational frame of mind. That is why the great leaders of our freedom struggle who fought against the British did not aspire just for political freedom. They had a vision of independent India where people from all social strata would have free access to education that would be universal, would nurture democratic values, would be scientific and secular. Sad to say that 78 years after independence, this dream is largely unfulfilled. A vast majority of the people are denied access to education, and the largest number of illiterate people in the world reside in India. The cost of education is progressively rising, thereby shutting the doors to education for a vast majority of the common people. After independence, there have been any number of commissions and committees, starting from the Radhakrishnan Commission for Higher Education in 1948 to the Right to Education Act in 2009. But even after all these, the state of education in our country has remained dismal. And now, the new National Education Policy 2020 has put the last nail in the coffin of Indian education. I don't need to go into the details why the National Education Policy 2020 is an unmitigated disaster in the field of education in our country. You have heard enough about it from the morning. It is making education so expensive as to take it out of the reach of the common people, and in the name of championing the Indian knowledge system as the glory of the contribution of ancient India, it is all sorts of obscurantist, unscientific, and bigoted ideas, willful distortion of history, and weird ideas on the achievements of ancient Indians are being infiltrated into the school curriculum. In addition to this, there is extreme centralization in the entire education system, starting from the curriculum formation right up to the administration of the highest centers of learning in our country. You have heard about these things. So it is nothing but the progress of fascization of the education system. The All India Safe Education Committee is devoted to building up people's education movements against the implementation of 2020. It is trying to bring home to the people the harmful aspects of NEP 2020 through conventions, seminars, workshops, local meetings, and group discussions. Integral to this education movement is the drafting of the People's Education Policy as an alternative to the NEP 2020. This policy places people at the center. It underscores that it is the duty of a democratic state to educate its citizens. And for it, The public education system has to be strengthened. The people's policy stresses that effective steps must be taken to make education up to the highest level accessible to all. It treats education as an essential means to inculcate secular, scientific, democratic values and build the character of the individuals and the society as a whole. It recognizes education as a tool for empowerment for the underprivileged classes and communities of people. It envisages that the responsibility of running educational institutions be vested on democratic bodies comprising educationists, teachers, students, guardians, and other stakeholders. After extensive dialogues with people from all sections of society and discussions on amendments at this People's Parliament, this People's Education Policy 2026 will be adopted and placed before the people. This will be a tool to build up a vibrant education movement. It will not be a policy in papers only. I appeal to you all to come forward and strengthen this movement to scrap the NEP 2020 and implement the provisions of the People's Education Policy 2026. And for this, you start building up organizations from the grassroots level and take this movement to a crescendo so that the government is forced to accede to the people's demand. Long live the principle of universal, secular, scientific, democratic education. Long live People's Education Policy 2026. Long live All India Self Education Committee. Thank you.